The key to success in social selling is knowing exactly who you're trying to reach and what this person is looking for. So how do you determine this perfect person? How do you find your audience? Who you're trying to talk to? So this is exactly what we're going to be talking in this video. So if you're curious about that, keep on watching. So if you're trying to grow your social selling business, network marketing business, it is a relationship kind of business, right? So if you want to build relationships with people, you know who you're building them with. I talked in the previous video briefly about how to determine your perfect audience, where to find that person, where do they hang out, and how to reach them. Right now through social media platforms, we can reach hundreds, thousands, millions, even billions of people at the same time. But if you do not narrow down your audience, if you do not narrow down the people that you're trying to talk to and solve their problems, then you're going to have a problem yourself in running your business. Because if you're talking to absolutely everybody, you will end up talking to nobody. So now let's try and figure out how to find that perfect person, how to find that audience, how to narrow it down. So in my previous video, I briefly said that basically the perfect audience, that perfect person that you are going to try and find for your business is going to be somebody who's very close to you in age, interests, likes, opinions, beliefs. It's pretty much going to be you before you started your business. We're going to try and determine who that person is, and we're even going to go further and name that person. I know big brands are doing that, small brands are doing that. It's almost like narrowing down your avatar. That's what it's called in the marketing world, right? It's your avatar. So when you know who that person is and when that person has a name, it's so much easier for you to create content that's going to really speak to that person. So at this point, you might want to get out paper and a pen, or your iPad or whatever, just for taking notes. I'm going to walk you through the exact process that I use to determine my audience, and this is something that is going to help you in your business tremendously. So first of all, the first thing you're going to write down is their age, gender, and whether they have kids or not. Most likely, if you're building an audience to try and establish relationships with, this person is going to be very close in age with you, right? So if you are in your 30s, that person is probably going to be in their 30s. If you're a woman, that person is probably going to be a woman, because we just connect with each other better that way. You know, if you have kids, that person might probably have kids. If you do not have kids, you have fur babies, that person is probably going to have fur babies. So see the pattern here? Now we're going to think about their occupation and financial situation. So are they a stay-at-home mom raising their children? Are they working a corporate job 9 to 5? Are they running their own business? Are they a student? Who is that person? What do they do for a living? So figure that out. You can write out a few different options. Obviously, if you're targeting somebody who is in their 20s, it's probably going to be somebody who is a student or just starting their first job. If you're targeting people that are, moms, stay-at-home moms, obviously that's a whole different category. If you're targeting people that, maybe are running their own business owners, that's a whole new story. So write it down. What does that person do for a living? Now we're going to figure out what stresses this person out. So what are their fears? What are their frustrations on a daily basis? What are their problems? Something that maybe you faced when you were in the same situation. If you're a stay-at-home mom and you're trying to reach stay-at-home moms, for example, maybe they are frustrated with how monotonous their life is. Maybe they're tired. They don't get enough sleep. So what are some things that they are facing on a daily basis? If you're trying to reach people that work a corporate job, what are their frustrations? Maybe it's being stuck in traffic every day. Maybe it is, the confrontation with their boss. Maybe not liking the fact that they're working on somebody else's schedule. What are some things that really frustrate them, drive them crazy? What are their problems? What are their fears? Write those down, because those are going to be very similar to something that you had before you started your business. So write those down. Do not skip the step. The next thing, we're going to write down their dreams and aspirations and what their ideal life looks like once their problems have been removed. So in ideal world, if their problems just vanished, if their frustrations disappeared, if somehow somebody like yourself found a solution to their problem, what would their life look like? So picture this. Okay, if this is a stay-at-home mom, maybe she found a community of people that are just like her. Maybe she found new friends. Maybe she has a new purpose. Maybe she's, making money from home and doesn't have to rely on her husband, ask her for every little thing that she wants to buy. She can treat herself. If this is somebody who's working a corporate job, maybe they became their own boss, so they don't have to confront their boss all the time. Maybe they started their own business and they do not have to be stuck in traffic every day. Maybe they found this new space where they can connect with other people that are just like them and pick the people that they want to work with. Maybe they have now more time to spend with their family, with raise their children. So whatever it is that perfect dream life looks like, once their frustrations have been eliminated, this is what you're going to write down next. Okay, now we're going to think about what are their decision-making traits. So something that they act upon when they're trying to make that decision. So either emotional, like women, we're all usually emotional, right? Like we're making emotional purchases. Are they analytical? So maybe there's somebody like an engineer or somebody who's very into science that is going to really make their decisions a little bit different, like more analytical, more like research based. So think about what type of person you're trying to find, right? And again, it's going to be somebody who is very much just like yourself. Now we're going to think about what their lifestyle is like. So obviously somebody that is a student and somebody that is working a corporate job, somebody that's in their 50s and somebody that's a mom is going to have a very different lifestyle. So what is their lifestyle like? Where do they hang out? Where do they go on a daily basis? What habits do they possibly have, right? So think about all the things. If they're a student, what does their day look like? Just imagine, okay, my perfect avatar's name is, I don't know, Sandy. Sandy, where does Sandy go? Like, what does she do from the moment she wakes up to the moment she goes to bed? Now, we're going to determine where does this person hang out on social media, right? What kind of websites would they go to get their information? Which social media platforms would be the best platforms for that person? So think about all those things and again, write them down. Somebody who is younger would probably go to TikTok, Instagram. Somebody who is more research based and would probably go to YouTube, and somebody who's older probably hangs out on Facebook. So think about all these platforms, blogs, or people that they follow, podcasts that they might listen to, because those things are going to give you hints about the social media content that you would want to create, and maybe some of the creators that you would like to follow as well, because your audience follows them too. So now that we know that Sandy is a specific age, we know that she's a mom or not a mom for babies. Like, now that we know everything pretty much about Sandy, how her life goes, what frustrates her, what she loves, what she doesn't like, what her belief systems are, what her hobbies are, what her lifestyle looks like, where she hangs out. Now we can create all of our content that's going to cater to Sandy and people just like her, so that you are going to start building a community of people that are just like Sandy, that are just like yourself, so that you do not waste your time talking to absolutely everybody and attract the people that want what you have to offer. Now we're going to figure out how all of this fits into what you have to offer. So what your brand is, right? What you stand for and how you can provide value to the specific person. In my last video, I was talking about brand and how to build a successful brand. Now we're going to take all of this and really incorporate it into your business based on the content you're going to be creating for your audience. Now think about how does the product that you offer, or the products that you offer, or the company that you're with, or the business that you have to offer, how does all of that fit into this person's world, right? Into their life. Let's call her Sandy. So what can you help Sandy with? Now that you know her problems, now that you know her frustrations, now that you know where the gaps in her life, what are her dreams and aspirations, what is her belief system, now how does everything that you have to offer fit into that? right? Depending on the products that your social selling company is offering, or maybe you have a specific product that you personally sell, or you're just, building your social selling business online through affiliate marketing. How can you help Sandy have a better life? So basically, you're going to take her from being frustrated to being happy. How can you do that? Let's think about it. If your products or services or business can make her life easier, can you write it down? How? In what ways? If you have a business opportunity that's going to help Sandy get more time freedom, spend better quality time with her kids, or maybe find a community, or maybe make more money working from home because she's frustrated that she has to ask her husband for absolutely everything, right? What can you help her with through your business or through your products? What are the products that she might possibly want to use? And it doesn't have to be necessarily something that you sell. It could be recommendations that you could be making based on her needs, right? Like maybe something that you're already using and loving, not necessarily that you're making money from it, but if you provide value to Sandy, she's gonna have more trust in you, right? So, and whether it's a good vacuum cleaner or an amazing storybook that you found for your kids, recommend it for your social media, because that's going to make her life easier. And now that you know which problems you can help find solutions to, which frustrations you can eliminate for Sandy, what emotions would you like to evoke in Sandy? Would you like to inspire her? Would you like to entertain her? Like, what would you like her to see and feel through your content? How do you want to relate to her? How do you want to connect with her on like a personal level, so that she gets to really know you, she gets to really like you, and she gets to trust you? Think about all those things. And again, that's going to really depend on your branding style, right? Your brand story, something that I talked about in the previous video. So think about all of that, right? Whether you chose like an entertaining style or really emotional, inspirational, or something that's very relatable. So think about that, and how can you connect with Sandy on an emotional level. After you've determined all of that, wrote that down, now you're going to think before every single post, when you're creating it, content that you're going to be creating, you're going to be asking yourself, would Sandy like this? Like, what's the purpose of this post for Sandy? What kind of tip can she learn? What kind of value can she get? What kind of inspiration, motivation, entertainment? Am I going to make her laugh? Am I going to make her day better after a long day with kids or after a long day at work? What is the purpose of every post? So now it's going to be easier to evaluate, because every time you're determining your content, you're thinking about posting something, you're going to run it through the prism of Sandy's life before posting anything to your social media platform. So you're going to be thinking about Sandy, and would she like it? Would she find value in it? Would she find good, emotions, inspiration, anything that you're trying to, provide for her? And that is going to make your life so much easier as a creator, trust me. So now, based off on everything that I just said, now you know exactly who you're talking to. Now you know exactly what kind of content you want to create for that person, for that avatar. Now you can also create your kind of solution statement or like unique proposition. There's so many ways that you can name it, but that is going to be almost like a power sentence, power statement, like I help blank do this, blank through this, right? So it's pretty much something that you help this person achieve, some kind of problem that you help them solve. This could be a few different things too. So those things can go now in your bio on your social media. So your Instagram bio, your TikTok bio, wherever you choose to land as a platform. It can go into your website, it can go into your email, it can go anywhere. So now that you know it, and it could be your elevator pitch. So anytime somebody asks you, what do you do for a living? What do you do, right? Like you can say, I help blank do this, blank through this, blank. So fill in the blanks that are going to fit your audience, that are going to fit your business, and it's going to make your life so much easier. So Hopefully you found this valuable. If you did find value in this video, please let me know in the comments. If you have any questions, I do leave my email in the description box below. Also, if you like this kind of video format, please let me know. I'm really curious to hear if you like more of this, network marketing, social selling, kind of social media type of content, so that I can create more of it. And if you do really enjoy it, and if you're new to my channel, if you made it so far into this video without being subscribed, obviously subscribe to my channel so that you know every time I post a new video. And if you would like to stay connected on social media, here's my Instagram handle. Make sure to follow me on there for more tips and tricks, and just follow the snippets from my life. I also do have a blog, which I'm going to leave in the description box below. And if you're curious to learn what I do for business, for my social selling company, please text business to the number on the screen, or just shoot me an email. I'll be super happy to share what I'm up to. Again, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.